Okay, everyone, this short tutorial is going to focus on the required elements that are in this speech. And some of you may have experienced point deductions in the past when you look over the specifics of some of the required elements. So pay attention here because there aren't a lot, but what's there can earn you points. And we want points, right? So remember, this talk is about ownership. It's about really taking ownership of the problem by saying I, me, mine, our, us, and really making it a part of you rather than a distant problem. And remember, you can talk about any problem. It doesn't have to be a personal problem. You could have a problem with the prison system. Or maybe you've never been in prison, but that does not disqualify you from bringing the topic forward and talking to it. But remember, how we add and bring the credibility is by not coming up alone with only opinions. You arm yourself with facts. You arm yourself with statistics and with trusted sources. That way you're not alone. And you can speak to something with some quality depth, even though you've never personally experienced what the problem is. So there's a broad range of topics you can go from. You can go from a world topic all the way to a very personal topic. To me, I just want you to be invested in it. So let's look at the introduction. You'll notice that the first words that you'll speak will be, my name is Bill, and I have a problem. And the reason I put this in there is because you immediately take ownership when you say, this is my name and this is my problem. That is a really great way to take ownership right from the start. And this is how you do it. Some of you last time have said and started with, today I want to talk about the problems with the prison system and all the irregularities and all the imbalance within the prison system. And then you start. Just let the introduction tell me what you're going to talk about. You don't have to tell me what you're going to talk about and then do the introduction. So just start with, my name is blank and I have a problem. Then get into your introduction. The only other element that I want to see introduction in the intro is a statistic. Now this one does not have to be sourced, although if you like doing that and you realize that a source is important, you can add the source. I love to see it that way, but you don't need it because sometimes statistics, especially in introduction, can just be meant to startle someone, to give them a chance to wake up and go, wow, that's a number I didn't expect. So this element needs to be in that introduction. The regular start with saying who you are and stating that you have a problem, then construct it any way you want to, but just make sure in those first 30 seconds to a minute that you are including at least a statistic, if not a statistic and a source. Then if you read the outline template, you'll see that there's something called a zoom out. And this is really just an opportunity for you to bring the qualified and quantified elements like we did in the last speech. This, in the body of the speech somewhere, requires at least one of the type of stat with source element that we had in the last one. I call it a zoom out because you can make this real personal. Say you're talking about your own anxiety, but at some point you have to get away from yourself and go up. And this statistic should provide a broader umbrella, okay, to say, yes, I have anxiety, but according to the American Psychiatric Association, 55 million Americans between the ages of 20 and 30 also experience anxiety. So what does this number tell you? It tells me first that I'm not alone, and it also gives you an opportunity to sort of add some quality depth like we learned in this last one. So this requirement is at least once, but many of you may have taken a liking to using statistics. So you can use as many of these zoom outs as you want. You'll see in the example I gave you, that student had several zoom outs, several times when they went from the close ground level to a higher level and a broader perspective of the problem as a whole. And this is the challenge for you, to take it real close and then to go up and to zoom out and to make it a broader sort of a problem, then to get close. This is your challenge in the body. And all I require is one, but again, as many as you want to use, I will listen and enjoy, okay? The conclusion is a call to action. And what I mean by that is, say we're back in the I have anxiety type of a speech. The call to action is a chance for you to reach out to the audience and to give them an actionable item, okay? Whether it's to be aware of the symptoms or to be aware that many people suffer from anxiety and to be a little more sympathetic or empathetic to people who may have this affliction, or to get involved and to fundraise to a certain charity, or to be more active in groups that get together. It's a chance at the end to bring your audience closer to you, to say that this was my problem, but here is how we can get together and solve it. Here's something for you to do. All right? That brings the audience closer to you, to give them something that they can act upon. So they're not a third party distant listener, but they're active. Okay? You make them an active participant at the end. Those are the three elements. You can use any elements that we've already used. You can have quotes. You can use an imagined sequence. You can use questions. You can do whatever you want as long as you create it yourself and make it work for you. And these are the three required elements in this speech.